Remember when we were kids and we were afraid of the dark, the boogeyman, or just, maybe watching Toy Story, or what was that, the other one with that kind of bluish guy, I can't remember, afraid they're hiding under the door or in the closet, and we'd be, begging our parents, take us upstairs and tuck us in and check all the doors, check under the bed to make sure there weren't any monsters around. And I don't know what your parents did, but with my kids, I would always, we'd play snug as a bug in a rug. I'd tuck them in, and then I'd sing You Are My Sunshine to them. And that would calm them down, and they could get through the night and not be afraid. And, I was sitting there thinking today, and I started to realize, isn't it funny? If we're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, we've made it through thousands and thousands of nights of the dark. And yet, well, before I get to that, we know we can get through the dark. We can get through the darkness of the night. And yet here we are, an adult, and we're scared to death of the dark. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is the pain we've all been through, whether there were issues with our parents, addiction or divorce, or maybe separation, maybe, somebody had issues with the law or health issues or something. But there's all this pain we've been through, and we don't want to go into the dark. We don't, it's like, no, I don't want to go there. There's a boogeyman in there. I don't want to face that. I don't want to touch it. Yet we all know the answer. What happens in the dark? Like what happened to us as kids? We got wrapped up. We got cocooned. The dark was actually safe. We made it through. What we thought was going to happen really didn't happen. And that's what I see with a lot of people is they have these painful moments and they're afraid to do the healing work to get through them. They're afraid of what's on the other side, what's hiding under the bed, what's in the closet, what's going to be exposed. And I don't want to go there. I just want to be positive. I'm going to look forward. I'm not going to look at the past. Yet the past is killing them every day. And if any part of your life isn't working, it's because of the pain of your past. I mean, the science shows it. Our lives show it because we become our childhood. And so if you're struggling with weight issues or emotional struggles or relationship struggles, career struggles, financial struggles, those are all born out of those moments in childhood that we haven't addressed. That's where we learned them. It's how all of us become that. So our life, where we are now, is a reflection of what we went through in childhood. And what we haven't, or the parts that are struggling, are the aspects of our childhood we haven't addressed and overcome yet because we're afraid to go into the dark. So I want to give you a tip to help you start that process so you can see, just like a child, when we were scared to death and our parents would wrap us up and cuddle us and say it's going to be okay. I'm going to give you a simple little exercise so you can start to realize, you can start to wrap yourself up and go, wait a minute, this isn't so bad. I can do this. I can get through the darkness. I can get through the light. So my suggestion to you, if you want to start tackling that, is to start tracking your feelings for 30 days, as much as possible. Now you can go to Google and just type in feelings list and print one off and keep it with you. And throughout the day, 3, 5, 8 times a day, just stop and go, what am I feeling? Now for many people, they don't know, they don't feel. But if that's you, then here's a simple solution. Whenever you do something, stop, or when you're about to do something, stop and go, why am I going to do this? What's the feeling I'm having? Whether maybe you have a weight issue and all of a sudden you feel something and so I've got to go eat, or I've got to go smoke or have a drink, or I've got to, a lot of people, porn is big now. Whatever it is, even if it's work, whatever your action is, pause for a second and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Start to become aware. And then the next question is, when was the first time I felt this? And here's what's going to happen. Don't filter it. Don't filter, because something will come up from yesterday or 40 years ago. None of it's wrong. But if it's a fairly recent feeling memory and you have very little memories of childhood, you're going to start to unthaw that. Because anyone who doesn't remember much of their childhood, that's because they were in so much pain. Well, depending on what it was, they dissociated or they went numb. They blanked it out as a defense mechanism. So if you don't have many memories and you start doing this exercise and they're all recent and you don't remember anything from your childhood, stay with it. And just keep asking yourself, when was the first time I felt this? And you're going to start getting your memory back. You're going to realize, oh my God, this is exactly like what just popped into my head. For years, I couldn't eat. I starved myself. Well, I finally put the connection together. It was a memory of my mother. I was opening up the refrigerator just to get something to eat, and she goes, no, 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 because I'd grabbed cottage cheese, and she goes, no, 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 that's for the dogs. Well, what my mom meant was she was on a very strict financial budget. We didn't have much money. And so if we ran out of food, she couldn't feed us. So that's one, she was scared. She was running low on money. But two, she used cottage cheese to hide the dog's food, or the dog's pills when they were sick. And so my mom was just protecting that, but she didn't explain that to me. So what I heard was something completely different. What I heard was, if I eat, I get yelled at. If I eat, I'm a bad kid. Mom doesn't love me. And the other thing, this was even more devastating, is in this house, we feed the dogs before the kids. Now, did she say any of that? Of course not. But that was the feeling that moment created. So for years, you'd ask me to go eat. I'd go, oh no, I hate to eat. Bores me to death. I starved myself. I'm playing pro sports and I'm living off of super big gulps and a Snickers bar. I wouldn't eat. And see, that's what you're going to start to see, those dark moments, those little memories that are showing up in your life day after day and causing your life to struggle. And you're going to realize, oh my God, it's not so scary. That's just a memory. But now that I know where this is coming from, I can do the recovery work on that. Now, if you don't know how to do the recovery work, I have classes and all of that. I don't want to turn this into a sales pitch. I want to give you a simple beginning solution to start facing the dark, just like we did as a child, so you can realize, my God, the answer's in the dark. My life is freedom when I become an expert in the dark. And this is one, there's many steps to it, but this is a very simple starting one that everyone's like, yeah, I can do that. So start tracking your feelings. Ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this? And you're going to start to see every single choice you ever make goes back to some sort of feeling you had in childhood. And that's the beginning of the process to bring light to the darkness. Let me know how that works out for you. I hope you're having a great day.